Previous talks. Now in this class we are discussing the subject is electrical measurements. Okay, so in electrical measurements, okay, today in this class we are starting our first unit, that is our fifth unit is magnetic measurements. Okay, so up to now, okay, in this electrical measurement subject, we have to discuss how you can measure the electrical parameters, voltage or current, okay, resistance, all like this, how you can measure those values and which meters you have used for that measurements, okay, and their working principles, advantages, disadvantages, applications, all are discussing in previous units. Okay, so now in this magnetic quantities, flux density, flux intensity, okay, so how you can find out these values are discussed in this magnetic measurements. Okay, see here. The magnetic measurement includes measurement of flux density. Okay, so in this unit you have to find out which quantities are. Okay, see here. The magnetic measurements includes measurement of flux density, measurement of magnetizing force, determination of BH curve and hysteresis. Okay, these are the measurements you have to find out in this magnetic measurements unit, and you have to discuss which meters are used for the and their working principles of to measure the flux density, similarly magnetizing force, and similarly determination of BH curve and hysteresis loop. Okay, next one is determination of iron losses, how you can find out the losses. Okay, so these are the magnetic measurements. Okay, so first one is a ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so before going to discussing about so this ballistic galvanometer is used to find out the flux density value. Okay, flux value. Okay, so here coming to the construction of this ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so this is the iron core. Okay, so this is the iron core and this having the consisting of a two poles. One is a north pole and another one is a south pole. Okay, and here you have to place a one mirror through a one spring. You have to connect a two wires. Okay, two terminals T1 and T2. Okay, this is a through a one pass per branch wire. You have to connect a torsion head. Head is nothing but to maintain this all weight. You have to place a one base. Okay, so that is the nothing but the torsion head. Okay, so this is the construction of a ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so see here the the ballistic galvanometer, which is used for estimating the quantity of charge flow through it, is called the ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so that means this galvanometer will be estimate flux value. Okay, how much amount of flux. Here charge is nothing but here in magnetic point. So in electrical points of you have to take the electrical charge, but in our magnetic measurements point of view, you have to take the charge is nothing but a flux value. Okay, so here the ballistic galvanometer, which is used for the estimating the quantity of charge flow, is called ballistic galvanometer. Similarly, here see the working principle of the ballistic galvanometer is it depends on the only deflection of the coil. Okay, so here the working principle of the ballistic galvanometer is only depends on the deflection of the coil. Okay, and here which is directly proportional to the charge passes through it. Okay, and here the deflection is directly proportional to the charge. Okay, so the charge passes through it. Okay, so here see the galvanometer measures the majority of the charge passes through it in spite of current. Okay, so here the galvanometer. Okay, so here the galvanometer is measures the majority of the charge. Okay, passes through it. That means the flux value, where the flux value passes through the galvanometer is measured in terms of a current value. Okay, next coming to the equation of ballistic galvanometer, equation of motion of ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so here I am says that the deflection is proportional to the current. Okay, that means how much amount of the flux or current will passes through the ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so here see, first of all you have to find out that equation of motion of ballistic galvanometer. Consider the rectangular coil having a number of turns placed in a uniform magnetic field. Okay, let let L be the length and B be the breadth of the coil. Okay, so here, okay, here you have to consisting of a coil and this having the n number of turns. Okay, this iron core coil having a n number of turns, having the length L and breadth will be B. So at that time the area of that coil, okay, so the area of that coil is given as A equal to L into B. Okay, that means length into breadth. Okay, see here, when the current passes through the coil, the torque acts on it. So whenever the current will passes through that coil, at that time the torque will be exhibited on that coil. Okay, so the given expression determines the magnitude of the torque. Okay, so at that time you have to write torque T equal to, so number of turns, a current value I, breadth, a magnetic flux density. Okay, so that means how much amount of flux will be produced for that particular area. So magnetic flux density is nothing but the flux per unit area. You have to represent it as a magnetic flux density. Okay, so at that time here you have to write tau equal to NIBA. Okay. So at for particular area you have to find out the torque. So at that time you have to write tau into dt. So that means NIBA dt. See here, if the current passing through the coil for t seconds. Okay, if suppose for particular time period. Okay, so for particular time period, how much amount of the current will passing through that coil, you have to find out by introducing the integration. Okay, so at the time here you have to write the integral of 0 to t tau dt. So already you have tau value here, you can tau dt value will be NIBA dt. Okay, so at that time N will be a constant, B will be a constant and A will be a constant. Here only the variable parameter value is only the current. Okay, so at that time here you have to write NBA integral of 0 to t I dt. Okay, so at that time here you have to, so what is the current passing through particular time period value is nothing but charge. Okay, so at that time here you have to write NBA Q. Okay, so here the charge will be written as a Q. Okay, so at that time the Q be the total charge passes through the coil. Here Q is nothing but the charge. Okay, this is the charge, the Q be the total charge passes through the coil. So here see, the moment of inertia of the coil is given by I. Okay, here the moment of inertia of the coil is given by L. And here the length of that coil will be L. So and the angular velocity through omega. So here you have to take in the angular velocity will be omega. So at that time the expression gives the angular moment of the coil. So at that time angular moment you have to write L into omega. So here see, at that time here you have to written as the angular moment of the coil is equal to the force acting on the coil. Okay, so at that time here you have to write the angular momentum. Okay, so the angular momentum of that coil is equal to the force acting on the coil. Okay, so at that time you have to write, so from that equation 4 and 5 in the previous slide, here we have to write L omega equal to NB Okay, so here compulsory, so whenever current will passes through that iron core, the poles, the magnetic force will be acting on that coil. So at the time the coil will be deflect. Okay, so that means deflect means motion. So motion is nothing but some amount of kinetic energy will be acting. Okay, so at that time the kinetic energy K. Okay, so here the kinetic energy K deflects the coil through an angle theta. Okay, and this deflection is restored through the spring. Okay, and here the diffraction will be restored through a spring. Okay, so that restoring torque. Okay, so that restoring torque will be written as half c theta square, and the kinetic energy will be written as half uh, L omega square. So whenever you have to equate these two ones, half c theta square equal to half L omega square. Half will be cancelled. So at the time here you have to write c theta square equal to L omega square. Here C is nothing but okay. See here, and the periodic oscillation of the coil is given as T equal to 2 pi root L by C. Okay, so at that time, whenever you have to remove this root, you have to write this side. So at that time, it will becomes 2 square 4 pi square L by C. So from this here you have to write T square by 4 pi square equal to LC. So at that time, whenever you have to put C this side, at the time L equal to Ct square by 4 pi square. By multiplying the equation 7 from the above equation, so here in the place of L, okay, in the place of L, you can write this equation. So at that time, this equation will become c square t square theta square by 4 pi square equal to L square omega square. So whenever you have to apply the square root on both sides, so at that time this will become ct theta 2 pi. This will becomes L omega. Okay. And similarly, you have to substitute c theta by 2 pi. Okay, so in the place of L omega, here you have to substitute. So in previous equation number 6, here you have to write L omega equal to MBAQ. So at the time in the place of L omega, so here you have to write NBAQ. Okay, from this here Q value, okay, charge value you can get CT theta by NBA 2 pi. So at the time Q equal to C theta 2 pi CBNA. So from this here you can assume this total into theta. This total will be constant. You have to assume that constant K. So at the time K equal to CT by 8. So let at the, you can assume K equal to CT by 2 pi dNA. So from this this K value here you have to substitute this in this equation. So at the time here you can get Q equal to K theta. So that means hence the charge Q is proportional to the deflection. Okay. So from so that is you have to prove in the ballistic galvanometer. So next you have to go for the flex meter. Okay, so this flex meter is used to find out the flex value. Okay, so here also the deflection is proportional to the flex. Okay, so that means how much amount of flex will be produced. Similarly, this having is also similar structure to the ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so this flex meter is used to, the name itself indicates. Okay, so this flex meter is used to find out the flex value. Okay, so see here, this is having a one iron core coil, and is having the two poles, north pole and south pole. Okay, silk thread suspension. Okay, spring. Okay, loose helix. Okay, so whenever you have to giving the current through these terminals, so at that time there will be in this coil there will be some flex will be produced. So at the time this flex, so that means when a flex will produce due to these two poles, north pole and south pole, at that time the current will produced in the coil according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So at that time the springs will be moves. Okay, so at that time they have to show some deflection value, and that deflection value will be is equal to the flex value. Okay. See here, this is a flex meter. Here you have to connecting a one such coil. See here, RFLF, resistance and inductance of such coil is induced EMF of the coil. Okay, see here, the flex linking with the coil. Okay, so the flex linking with the coil either by varied by either removing it from the magnetic field or by reversing the field of the magnet. Okay. See here, you have to find out the flex value. Okay, so the flex linking with the coil. Okay, the how much amount of the flex will be linking with the coil is varied either by removing it from the magnetic field or by reversing the field of the magnet. Okay, see here the changes of the flux. Okay, so here the changes in the flux values induce the electromotive force in the coil. Okay, that is nothing but EC. This EMF induces the current in the search coil and send it through a flux meter. So at that time, this EMF value produces the current in the search coil. That current will passes through the flux meter. Okay, so here in this diagram, this is a search coil. Okay, so this is a search coil. Okay, so here for flux meter, here we have to connect a search coil. See here, okay, so because of the current, okay, so because of this current, the pointer of the flux meter deflects, and the deflection is directly proportional to the changes in the values of a flux linkages. Okay, so here directly, so how much amount of the deflect, how much amount of the flux meter will be deflect. Okay, so that deflection is directly proportional to the changes in the values of the flux linkages. Okay, so that is nothing but the flux meter. Okay, so let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the flux meter. So advantages of the flux meter. Okay, see here the flux meter is portable. Okay, similarly the scale of the flux meter is calibrated in Weber meters. Okay, coming to the construction, okay, the flux meter is very portable. Okay, wherever you have to go, you have to, it is to carry, and it is a portable. And similarly the scale of the flux meter is calibrated in Weber meters. Okay, so the flux value measured by using this flux meter. So at the time that having the units are measured in Weber meters. Okay, similarly, see here the deflection of the coil. Okay, and here the deflection. Okay, so the deflection of the coil is free from the time taken by the flux to change. Okay, similarly here the deflection. Okay, so the deflection of the coil is also free from the time taken by the flux to change. Coming to the disadvantages, the only disadvantage of the flux meter is that it is less sensitive and accurate. Okay, so the only disadvantage of the flux meter is that it is a less sensitive and accurate. Okay, it is a less sensitive. Okay, so that means any sensible problems will be occur. So at that time the flux meter is respond to that problems. Okay, and it will not use the values also very accurate. That means it is a less accurate. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of the flux meter. Okay, let us discuss the differences between the flux meter and ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so here see flux meter and first one is flux meter and second one is a ballistic galvanometer. See here, first one, in flux meter controlling torque is very small. In fast starting in our electrical measurement subject, in first unit we have to discussing any meter. Okay, any electrical meter or magnetic meter it will be working. Compulsory we have to 3 torques will be available. Those are deflecting torque, controlling torque, damping torque. Okay, so those are earlier we have to discuss in our first unit. Coming to that controlling torque in both meters. Okay, the controlling torque is very small in flux meter. Similarly, the controlling torque is very high in ballistic galvanometer. So next one is heavy electromagnetic damping. Coming to the damping torque. Okay, so damping torque is a heavy in heavy electromagnetic damping in flux meter. Electromagnetic damping is not high in ballistic galvanometer. See here, it is less sensitive. Already in disadvantages of flux meter we have to discuss it. Okay, so it is less sensitive than ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so the flux meter is less sensitive than ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so ballistic galvanometer is a more sensitive. Coming to the flux meter, it is less accurate. Coming to the ballistic galvanometer, it is a more accurate. So coming to the flux meter, the deflection is independent of the time taken by the flux changes. Okay, so and here the deflection is independent. Okay, so independent of the time taken by the flux changes. Similarly here independent, so that means it will be not depend on the time. So whatever the time flux changes, the flux changes the deflection will be independent. But in ballistic galvanometer, the deflection is dependent on the time taken by the flux changes. Okay, so here the deflection. Okay, so the deflection is compulsory dependent on the time taken by the flux changes. Okay, So those are the differences between the flex meter and ballistic galvanometer. Okay, next we have discussed one problem on flex meter. See here, a flex meter is connected to such coil having 500 tons. Okay, such coil having a 500 tons and means of a area 500 mm. The such coil is placed at the center of a solenoid of 1 meter long wound with 800 tons. When a current of 5 amperes is delivered, there is a deflection of 25 scale division. Calculate the calibration in flex linkages per scale division. Okay, so here the flex meter having the such coil number of turns are here in the number of turns will be given as a 500 and area will be 500. Okay, and current value will be 5 amperes. Okay, length will be 1 meter. Okay, see here connected to a such coil. The such coil is placed at the center of the solenoid wound with 800 tons. Okay, 800, that means coil will be 800 tons, main coil. When a current value will be number of divisions, total divisions is the deflection. So that means the total deflection of that flex meter will be given as a 25 scale per division. Okay, but here it is a calculated calibration per scale division. Okay, so first we have to find out, see here, field strength of the solenoid. Okay, so that means magnetic field intensity. H equal to N1I by L equal to 500. Okay, NIL formula. Okay, number of turns of the coil. Okay, field produced by first is a coil. Okay, so that coil having how many number of turns? 800. 800 into current value will be 5 amperes divided by length value will be 1. So at the time here you can get 4000. What are the units for the magnetic field strength? Ampere per meters. Okay, so at the time here you can write as the 4000 ampere per meter. So field density, magnetic field density. So here you have, in terms of a magnetic field intensity, here you have to write B equal to mu naught H. Okay, so at the time here you have to write 4 pi. Mu naught value will be 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 and H value will be 4000. So at that time here you have to write 4 into 4, 16. 16 pi into 10 to the power of minus 3 Weber per meter square. Okay, see here flex linkages of the flex meter such coil. Flex linkages of the such coil. How you can find out? N2 BA. N2 value will be 500 number of tons such coil. Okay, such coil tons here you have to assume N2. So field magnetic field density. Let's say 16 pi into 10 to the power of minus 3 area value 500. So at the time here you have to get 0.4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 3 Weber ton. Changes in flex linkages. Okay. So at the change value will be get by multiplying with 2. So at the time 2 into 0.4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 3. So at the time I can get 0.88 pi into Weber ton. Flex linkages per scale per division. These are the total change in flex linkages. But so total how many scale divisions here in the problem it is given as a 25. So but here you have to find out per scale division. So at the time total change in flex linkages 0.8 pi into 10 to the power of minus 3 Weber ton divided by 25. So at the time here you have to write flex linkages per scale division equal to 0.1005 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Weber per division. Okay, so this is the problem. Next one, determination of BH curve. BH curve. Okay, so from this you can estimate the magnetic field flex density, magnetic field intensity. Okay, so this is one of the very important topic in this unit, determination of a BH curve. So here the BH curve. Okay, so the BH curve can be obtained by the following two methods. Okay, so the BH curve is obtained by using the two methods. What are those? Method of reversals and step-by-step method. Okay, so these are the two methods to find out the BH curve. First one is what? Method of reversals. Okay, method of reversals. Okay, see here. Okay, so this topic, so the BH curve can be determined by using the method of reversal as well as the step-by-step method. These are discussed in later class. Okay. Okay, so now in this class we have to discussing the introduction of the Mann measurements, and also we have to discussing about the ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so and as well as the flex meter. Okay, so in next class we have to determine how you can find out the BH curve. Okay, determination of BH curve is find out by using the method of reversal and step by step method. Okay, these are discussed in later class. All of you please subscribe the D-Base Talks. Okay, thank you.